Tonight, I'm welcoming Mr. Philip E. Walker from the United States. He's an actor. I don't want to say veteran actor, but he's been around for a long time on film, television, and theater as well. Correct, Mr. Walker?
Yes, yes, I started in the theater.
Yes. So everybody of our viewers would like to know a little bit about your start, and I see you have been working also on film and television, many films and television series we have seen. So let's hear it in your own words.
Um, uh, in my senior year in high school, Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated. I had started taking a drama class. They called it speech and drama. I had no idea what speech and drama was, but if you took that class, you didn't have to take English again. And I had taken English every year, so I took the drama class, and I ended up doing very well in it, exceedingly well, and became quite a bit of a star at high school. And you high school students know what that feels like. So, but then Martin Luther King was assassinated toward the end of my senior year, and they closed the school down, of course. And Dr. Byrne, my drama teacher, late at night and goes, "You're gonna do I Have a Dream first period at school tomorrow." What? Yes, tomorrow. And then he doesn't even let me talk to him about it. So I stay up all night preparing that speech, right? On that morning, I'm looking out, more than 1,000 students and teachers and such. And I start delivering the I Have a Dream speech. And you actors, you know how you can be out of body. You can be present and then be watching yourself. And it's a strange kind of double identity. Well, that was happening. And so I'm watching myself and I'm watching the audience while I'm delivering this speech. And I'm noticing that this exceedingly intense, strong, is burning up outside. The whole city is burning down, south side of Chicago. As the speech goes, you could feel people getting less tense. Now, it didn't solve everything. Don't let me say that. But what I did notice is that it had an effect on people. And that's when I found out how important and how powerful storytelling and performance is. And soon after that, I changed my major from accounting to theater and haven't looked back since. I haven't had a job outside of entertainment since graduating college. I have been blessed and I have worked hard. I worked mostly in the theater for almost a half century. And then I moved to Southern California to be with my granddaughter. And we're like 40 miles from LA, so I figured I'll try out. I'll go and do a little audition. I don't expect much. All my friends that had come down here said, "Oh man, it's impossible. You can't break in," right? I went in, auditioned, got the first audition, was sent out. Now, understand, let me be clear. I'm exceedingly well-trained and experienced actor when I arrived in Chicago. So I wasn't just like, "Oh, I want to be a star." No, it was my craft, my profession. But it was Hollywood, right? So I did this audition and sent off to Oregon for a week. And while I'm off in Oregon shooting this film, people are calling me and like, "We want you to audition, come." I'm like, what is going on here? All of my career, I'm sitting around begging for an audition. Now, all of a sudden, it's auditions I do anyway. Well, to make that story short, I ended up in my first 5 years here in Hollywood doing more than 900 movies, TV shows, music videos, 900 productions or appearances in 5 years. It just exploded. Another thing that I discovered when I got here to LA, if one Googles Phillip E. Walker, you'll get so many credits that it's just unbelievable. From Justin Timberlake to five-time Academy Award nominated director to it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I am a full-time working actor in Hollywood. Well, as your viewers probably know, um, Hollywood looks real glamorous, but it's actually not a very good place to work. They treat you very badly, and you don't get the kind of attention that you imagine that you would get, even if you're in a very big production. Uh, and so, understanding that, I started to try and figure out ways of how I could do what I had done back in the theater, where I started my own theater company and chose my own art and decided what I would say from the stage and so on and so forth. I get to Hollywood and it's like, you say these lines, we want you to do this image, we need this. Whatever they wanted to do, whatever they wanted to sell, I was a tool for that. Well, that's not very satisfying. And so I started to look for ways that I could, you know, produce my own stuff, that I could find a way to express myself using my art like I had done in the theater. And I discovered the short film. This is my favorite art form in the world, the short film. Well, I like music videos too, but the short film, I believe, is going to be the most popular visual art form in the world. It's going to be bigger than blockbuster movies. The short film is perfect for our time because it fits we got to get it done quickly. Got to get it done fast. Well, in a short film, you can tell a full story in 5 minutes. You can shoot a whole film in 2 days. I love the short film. And so I started working on them. But what I found out is short films don't have no market. There's no, although it's a perfect fit for our society, nobody seems to know where to find one. Nobody seems to know if they want to watch one. The short film is just, right now, it's just a calling card, as your viewers know, to get a feature film.
Yes, right now, here in Egypt,
Yes,
before the time of multiplexes, we used to have big cinemas.
yes,
When we used to go inside, that was like 20, 30 years ago, we used to have like a small documentary, before the movie.
uh-huh. Like a curtain warmer in the theater. Yes,
Along with the trailers, and sometimes we used to have a bulletin as well. That
right.
in the States as well during
News,
the Second War, some kind of and it was the one of the best time to discover documentaries, like a short documentary. But as you said, I mean, short films and also documentaries, they didn't have markets before. Once a film is
yes,
screened in a festival, they can be lucky if they have like a sales, for a television station or something like
very
that.
lucky.
Very lucky, yeah. But right now with the new media, and you don't need to find 35 millimeter or 16 millimeter. Everything has gone digital. It's very easy right now for filmmakers to do even what we say like tiny shorts, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Right,
And with the launch of many platforms right now, it seems that it will have, like you say, a market and an audience as well. People can discover a short film while taking a ride in a bus or
right.
sub.
Literally,
uh,
or while you're standing at the in line 6 feet from each other, you could be watching a film. Yeah, yeah.
Right now, before we move to another thing, you work with a lot of directors, you know, in Hollywood, and after a long time in working in theater, you know, every day you could have a role, and every day you are performing better and better this role when
Yes.
you're performing. But did you feel sometimes that? Or did you feel working sometimes with bad director when you started to work in cinema and television? Did you feel without
Uh,
saying
you're asking, did I feel that the directors were not good?
yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah. Sadly enough, my experience so far, I've only been here less than 6 years, so I'm new. But so far, what I have uncovered is that most leaders in Hollywood, director or producer, has no training. So they're doing this art form, but they have not been taught what the masters have done before them. This causes many of the leaders to not know what they're doing. I'm sorry, it's just a fact. Um, but being a director or a producer in Hollywood is such a powerful position, or perceived to be powerful, that nobody says you don't know what you're doing. They would never say that to someone. Rather, we try to just work around it. And so I have discovered that it's more likely in Hollywood that I end up being directed or led by someone who doesn't know the craft. It's more likely than it was in the theater. Now, that happened in the theater too. But part of the problem is this digital photography is so accessible that practically anybody can make a movie. And I'm not complaining. It makes it possible to get a lot of work. And I've been blessed enough that my training and my experience is extensive enough so that usually, even if I'm not directed well, I can still produce something that is at least viewable. It may not be any great performance, but it's not something that I'm ashamed of. So that's a bit of a blessing. I'm glad I didn't come to Hollywood when I originally planned right out of graduate school, because Hollywood would have just chewed me up and ate me out. I was not ready to deal with the realities of this very, very massive industry. Yeah.
yes. And right now, at the beginning of the year, how did you receive the knowledge of this COVID thing? You know, how did it affected you, the community
Well,
around you?
Well, as I said, I got excited about short films. And so I found out the short films had no market. I came to the theater, as I alluded to before, from business. And part of a lot of my success has been self marketing, understanding that, you got to sell yourself or nobody's going to see you. So I've already always applied that. So when I started getting these short films done, then I would also market them as well. Have been exceedingly successful as compared to my colleagues. Not successful, but successful compared to most of my colleagues that are new in the industry. Um, and then the pandemic hit. I'm rolling right along. I'm going to film festivals. I'm getting selected. It's hot. It's going on. I'm building a little bit of reputation. It's happening. And then Europe just closes down. And soon after that, America closes down, and India closes down, and all the film, France, and now all the places where they do film festivals. Because remember, there's only one place that you can go with a short film, and that's to a film festival. They're all shut down. They still haven't opened up. Here we are 6 months later. They still haven't opened up. So now I find myself at home. I'm 70 years old, so I'm not going outside, right? Bring the food to me. I'm not going out there until they get a vaccine or something, right? So now I'm sitting at home. I'm no longer going to Hollywood every day and shooting. And so I'm spending all of my time trying to get film festivals to screen my new film. I know how to do this. I've been doing this for almost 5 years, but I don't know how to do it when there are no film festivals. now, the film festivals are busy still marketing as if they are film festivals and they're taking our money, but they're canceling, they're going online, they're postponing it. It has been a horrible situation, but I got good news. I've got great news. My new film, Wine Game, it's just a little student film. It's a little comic student film. No big deal, right? Wildly successful. During these 6 months of sitting at my computer and marketing this film, despite the fact that most of the film festivals are not happening, this film has been wildly successful. How about, oh, I can't remember the count now. How about 300 and I think 78 promises to screen so far? This thing was just released on May 1. 6 continents, uh, 40 countries, 5 states. This thing is going wild, and I know why. While I'll bet my colleagues have been crying, absolutely crying about how this great amount of money that they're spending to make these submissions and they're getting no return. I discovered a platform where I'm getting 100% selections and awards on my newest film and 89% on my film from last year. I have discovered a film festival that truly, truly, truly does find ways to get the filmmakers' work out there. I have discovered brand new marketing tools for the short film, and I'm prepared to share it with my colleagues. What do you do? How do you get your film selected when you don't have a connection? Obviously, if you have a connection to the festival, you're going to get in, right? But we don't have a lot of connections to festivals. I might have maybe 5 film festivals that I'm well connected to, and they're likely to select my film sight unseen, okay? Everybody else, just a struggle. Well, what do? Let me give your viewers a little bit of advice. One, you have to have a world-class submission platform. World-class. I'm not going to talk about the quality of the art. Everybody says, oh, well, it's really hard to get into a film festival. Your art's got to be really good. Well, I discovered that it's not actually about the art. The quality of the art. I'm sorry, filmmakers. It's not about the quality of art. It's a numbers game. The present submission platform has successfully encouraged stupid numbers of filmmakers to submit to these film festivals all around the world. So film festivals that you have never heard of are getting like 2,000, 3,000 submissions for a one-day film festival that you've never heard of. And that's because the new platform has come up with a fabulous marketing program for the film festivals, but not very good for the filmmakers. It's created an unbelievable amount of competition that is just ridiculous. what's happening is, this is my opinion, these films are not even being seen. Think of it. Think of it. You have a festival, you have a panel of 5, and they start watching films, and you get 3,000 submissions. How many of those films can those 5 people watch? Just looking at the numbers, some of those films are not going to be seen. Well, I say a lot of these films that we are submitting are not being seen by the festivals. Now, the festivals will disagree with me all the time, but you just look at those numbers. I have some stories to tell that I may share later of particular instances in which I saw that a festival was not viewing all of the films. So given that reality, given that it's a numbers game and you've got to have enough numbers and your numbers have got to be better than the other 2,999 people, one of the ways to be in front of them is to have a world-class platform. What's a world-class platform, Phil? Well, it must have a trailer. And that trailer cannot be 2 minutes long. Nobody watches a commercial for 2 minutes. It just doesn't happen. It never happens. I don't care who the commercial is. Now, you might watch a Star Wars trailer for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, but short films are not Star Wars. So, so you're not in that competition. You must have a trailer, and that trailer must be under 30 seconds because we have all been programmed from television that commercials last only 30 seconds. If you go 31 seconds, they're already gone. You go 2 minutes, they left you for a long time. So as it relates to the film festival submission, they can't watch all those films. So what are they doing? And my guess is what they're doing is they're watching the trailers. So that means if you don't have a trailer, then you automatically get put out. They're looking for ways to get fewer films that they have to look at. So you don't have a trailer, they never get around to you, right? But if you do have a trailer, and let's say that it's 2 minutes long, they watch the first 30 seconds because they're programmed to watch 30 seconds, and then they get bored. And they're thinking they're bored with the film. They haven't even watched the film, they're watching the trailer. They get bored, they click that one off and move on to the next one. So your film never got shown, got seen, and your trailer never got seen, only the first 30 seconds of it. So I'm guessing that these people are going, the way they're getting through all of these films is they're using that technique. In order for you to be in the mix, therefore, you must have a 30-second trailer.
Yes, like
you must have a poster. You must have photos, all of the stuff just to be in the game. That's not going to get you selected.
Yes.
But just to be in the game, to be even considered, you must have a world-class platform.
Yeah.
That's one of the things you can do.
Yes. But I want to tell you that as well, you were talking about the selection committees of film festivals that must filter, all the film. But sometimes they, I want to tell you, if a lot of films they don't have a trailer. They
yes, most don't.
They are made just before the festival, and they didn't have the time to edit.
Yeah, right.
To cut the trailer, but sometimes the viewing committee, sometimes they see the films fast forward.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They have to. These are volunteers.
Yes.
And most of these volunteers don't realize they may be professionals, but for the festival they're volunteering. I'm hoping that's going to change.
Sometimes
they're going to start paying these people.
Yes, in the States there are a lot of volunteers, of course, but some, for viewing committees, even here in Egypt, they are professionals, and they try to see the films as much as they can, of course. But sometimes, of course, if the submission is too much, like you said, like 3,000 films or more, they are very, very popular festivals. Maybe they cannot have the time to watch all the submitted films.
Yes, it's just unrealistic. Mm-hmm. It's just not a good circumstance
Hmm.
For the artists, it's a great circumstance for all of these arts administrators. It's great for them. But for the artists themselves, because think what's happening. The artist makes the work, spends the money to make the work, usually out of their own pocket. Okay, they can't raise money for a short film. Not possible. All right, they do all the work, and then they pay for someone to consider showing the work. Most of the time, that's rejected, so they lose that money. This is a no-win situation for the artist. We can change that, and we must change that for this art to really get out there. We cannot count on the film festival administrators to get short films out to the world. But right now, that's all we have. And so we must learn to do our very best at using that. So, great platform. You have to have a great platform. I didn't say you have to have a great film. I'm sorry. Maybe not. Okay.
Mm.
No, you can't have a bad film.
Mm.
But my experience, and I've gone to probably 100 film festivals in my life, I watch a lot of short films. My experience is most of them are basically the same. The quality of them. I might have seen maybe 3 short films out of 1,000 that I would say, oh, that's a great movie. And I might have seen maybe 100 out of 1,000 that said, that's a horrible movie. The rest of that 897, basically the same, including my 55 short films. Basically, the quality is the same. So it's not a case of whether your quality beats out that other 2099. It's a case of whether your professionalism is higher than theirs, and you can show that on your platform.
Yeah.
You can show your professionalism. It's a case of whether you have the right equipment, and most importantly, what I discovered during this COVID period is you must be submitting on a platform that has a high level of official selections. If you are submitting on the presently most popular platform and you are paying money, you are just financing those film festivals. You are not having your film selected. Uh, I'm very good at this thing. And in the COVID period, my next to last film is at something like 19% selections. Well, my colleagues would die to get 19%. They're getting 3%. They're getting 5%. I spent on my new film less than $600, and I've got already nearly 400 screenings and 21 awards and
Yes.
30 nominations. And so what one must do is, first, do not respond to the advertisements that come from the major submission platform. If they send you an advertisement, they send it to everybody, and that's where the numbers go up. It's through the advertising on this new system. This is actually a new system. It's
Yeah.
only 5 years old. It's through the advertisement that these large numbers are created. So that means that if you're a savvy submitter and you see an advertisement from that platform, don't submit. You are sure to be up against 3,000 submitters. Find something else, but don't submit to that particular festival. If it's a festival that you have heard of, Sundance, whatever you've heard of, don't submit to that one, because if you have heard of it, guess what? Everybody else has heard of it too. They're getting 3,000 submissions. What you're doing is you're trying to find the festivals that don't get thousands of submissions. Now you have a chance to be selected. Many of these festivals are at the same quality as those supposedly big festivals that you have heard about. Many of these festivals are at the same quality. You just haven't heard about them.
Yes, but I want to tell you right now, if you have like there are several platform right now, and I'm gonna tell you the story from the other side, from the side
Yes, please do. Please do.
from the side of a film festival, not a filmmaker.
Okay.
Many festivals around the world, they create a profile on a certain platform, and
Mm-hmm.
they ask people to submit their films through this platform.
Yes.
Okay, so the platform right now is an intermediate between the filmmaker and the film festival.
Mm-hmm.
If the film festival put like like the criteria for submitting inside this platform, and they do it like for free, without money, they
Yes, yes.
they're gonna receive a large number of films, a
A
large,
large number of films that don't actually qualify for that festival.
maybe, and it can be more than 3,000
Mm-hmm.
with a paid festival, you
That's
know.
correct.
And of course, if the other option for the festival is to put like, let's say, $10 for a short film and $50 for a long film.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and when the festival do that, it's some kind of an income source for the festival.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. What's happening is the festivals are running,
Uh-huh.
their income is coming from the artists.
From the platform as well, because the platform share this. But what I
The platform doesn't put any money in. Only the artists put money in.
yes, but I tell
And
you,
then the platform takes a percent of it,
of
and the
course,
festival takes a percent of
yes,
it. But
my
all the money comes from the artist's pocket.
from the artist, and I'm gonna tell you my preferences. It's something intermediate between these two options.
Yes.
I rather, you know, have the submission of my festival through the official website of the festival, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make it for free, but in the regulation of submission, I'm gonna specify a genre or a topic
Mm-hmm.
for the films. Let's say this year, the edition of my festival will be like on, let's say, about the COVID, films related,
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
or films related to Black Lives Matter,
Right. Yeah.
or human rights, or diaspora. So right now I'm gonna have a very focused curatorial item.
Yes.
And
Yes, Sharif. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with that.
yeah,
I run 4 film festivals, and
yes,
I try and make them free all the time.
yes.
But the problem that you're referring to makes it hard to make them free. Well, here's the other part that filmmakers must understand.
Hmm.
You've got to read. You can't just click. You've got to read. If you're going to submit to the festival, whether it's $10, $60, or zero, before you do those 4 clicks to go to to submit to that festival, read their guidelines. They're going to tell you whether you fit or not. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to get in if you fit, but if it's a Black Lives Matter festival and it's only accepting Black directors, the director has to be Black, not the actor, the director,
Yeah.
and you submit and your director is not Black, they're going to easily click you out. They're going to click you out long before it gets to the judges. So the other thing that filmmakers must do if they want to increase the percent of return is read before they click. Filmmakers do not only do they not have trailers, but they don't read.
So read before.
When we start learning to read, then what you're talking about, that approach will work exceedingly well, and you will have a wonderful group of films to choose from,
Yes,
and not have to have your committee going, spending hours and hours looking at films that don't fit at all
of course.
what
Yeah.
you're looking for.
Yes, here when we need to see a lot of films like that, you need to see them maybe a second time, and you need to vote for each film, and you have the average, and you have a discussion, with all the jury committee, until a film reach, the final selection. It is a long process, and it is a
Yes,
very
it is.
difficult process when you have a large number of films, of course. Okay, we're about to run out of time, Mr. Walker. Do you like to say something to fellow artists and fellow film festivals before we close the discussion?
So as I mentioned, I'm a short film marketer. That's what I do. And I attempt to teach others how to successfully market their short films, direct sales, as well as marketing them to film festivals. I do a weekend of one-day film festivals, subject targeted film festivals, doing Indigenous Peoples Weekend in the United States. That used to be Columbus Day weekend. And at that festival this year, we are going to be, we actually don't do a festival, we do a retreat. It's a filmmaker marketing retreat. At the retreat, our subject is going to be marketing your short film during the COVID-19 era. I personally have an unbelievable amount of statistical suggestions that I am designing and working up that will be available to anyone who attends on the second weekend of October here in Rancho Cucamonga, 40 miles east of Los Angeles. Uh, we will be very selective as to who we allow to come, but those people that do come will walk away from the festival with marching papers, with very specific approaches through which they will surely increase the market of their short film. So I encourage your viewers to come and join us. We are going to be small and therefore socially distanced, and we're going to move forward on it no matter what's going on in the United States with this crazy pandemic. It could be very bad by then, but we will be in our own little bubble. If you can get to Rancho Cucamonga, join us and we'll open some doors for you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Philip Walker. And I will be very happy to share all your links, down the video below, on our channel,
All right, I'll send to you.
to spread the word, for all filmmakers. And I wish you the best of luck in your upcoming projects. And I hope I can screen your films here in Egypt, and you can come and join us to present them.
Absolutely, Sharif. First of all, thank you so much for doing this work. This is such special, important work, especially in these times, and we thank you for your podcast. And I was supposed to come to Egypt last year and had some travel problems, and now I can't get there. I've got an airplane ticket with Egyptian Airlines that I can't use. I hope to be able to use it and come and meet with you.
With pleasure, sir. Thank you very much. Hello to the family from my side. And I hope to hear some good news about your event.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.